Alrighty, welcome to the realm of possibilities. So today's topic is going to be about being yourself. And I think when it comes to really tapping in to what's possible for you and tapping into really being like honing into like really being the creator of your own reality, at the end of the day, it's all about coming back to you, coming back to your true essence. Because I think what happens a lot in this journey, this beautiful journey of life, is that we have a tendency in the beginning to maybe do a lot of the things that we're told, right? Doing a lot of the things that we think we should be doing because someone told us that that's the way, that's how you need to be, versus really just being your most authentic self in every decision that you make, right? Like if you kind of think about it, like when you're making a decision, are you making a decision because it's truly what's in your heart? Like it's a full body yes, like I want to do this, I want to do it this way or whatever. Or are you holding back? And then are you making this decision because in the back of your head, you're like, what is my family going to think? I wasn't really raised this way. Like I was told that it needs to be this way. Or what are my friends going to think and all that kind of stuff. And then you end up making a decision not in really the most authentic way because you're making it based off other people's opinions and stuff like that. And so at the end of the day, when it comes to, like I said, being the creator of your own reality, and what I've realized on my journey is when you're yourself, other people's opinions doesn't really matter. Like it's not so much that it doesn't matter, but it doesn't affect you. Like you're able to own your decision that I'm making this because, well, it's what feels right for me, regardless if it feels right for other people, because at the end of the day, you have to make decisions for yourself. You're going to get a lot of people on this journey that are going to tell you that the path that you're on is the wrong one. The path that you're on is too risky, it's too irresponsible, it's too this. But a lot of the times, the people that are actually telling you that is because they themselves are holding themselves back. And so they, in some way, it may not even be something that's actually conscious, it's a subconscious thing, but the way that they're responding to you is in a way where they're like they kind of feel like, how is it that you're doing this? Like, I didn't do this, so I kind of don't want you to do it either, in a sense, type deal. And you'll start to see, like, how people start to respond to you as you're stepping over your comfort zone, as you're taking those risks. Because when it comes to being the creator of your own reality, it's not about following the rules. It's not about doing what other people are telling you to do. You're creating your own path, you're creating your own way, because it's your uniqueness that really, being the creator of your own reality is stepping into your own uniqueness and being totally okay that nobody else agrees with it or whatever. It doesn't matter. As long as you're happy, as long as it makes you want to wake up the next day and go about whatever you're doing with a lot of love and joy, then really anybody else's decision doesn't matter, because again, you're being your true authentic self. And as you go on this journey, like it's a journey, right? Being yourself is your journey, because at this point in time, you're an adult, right? You're probably 18 and up. And you've already had certain programming, certain belief systems installed in you already from when you were a little kid. And so as you start this journey of self-love, really, because that's how it really started out for me, is that I realized that the more that I loved myself, the more kind of like boundaries I had to set with other people. And like the more I had to like not care about what other people's thoughts were at the end of the day, because again, as long as I'm happy and I'm doing this because it's in my heart to do so, then I'm going to do it. Doesn't matter other people's opinions. And that's just like my reminder here today, because literally 12/12 is almost here, and it's the last new moon of the year of 2023. Like, how crazy is that? And it's something to reflect on, like how many times, or not many, maybe not how many times, but like look back this year and ask yourself, like, did you hold yourself back at any point in time? Any decisions that you made, were you afraid of other people's opinions? Or was this a year of you actually like breaking through that? And regardless if people agree with you or not, you still went down the path that felt right for you. And something else to remember too is that on this journey, it's okay to change your mind. We are human. We're always evolving and growing and learning. And as long as you're growing and learning, your perspective on life is going to change, and just know that that's okay. That if a year ago you thought one way was the right way for you, and now with all this growth within the year, you've realized actually that way was not serving you, that you prefer to go a different route, know that it's okay. Like I think there's like this thing out there that you can't change your path. That once you graduate from high school and you commit to this career, you go to college or whatever, like you have to stay on this path for the rest of your life until you retire, until you're 60 and 70. But if you start changing too much in between it all, like it's irresponsible, it's not the right thing to do, like it's, type of deal. And it's just so far from the truth. Like the reality is that you want to be changing, you want to be growing, you want to be evolving, you want to be doing things differently from time to time. It makes life more exciting, to be honest. Like at least for me, like through my journey and my growth, like I've noticed that, the more that I learn and expand, like the more that I start to like, the more that you realize that you really don't know. The more you realize that there's so much more to learn about yourself and about the world and about everything. And so learn to be a student of life, and learn to know that it's okay to change your mind, that there's nothing wrong with you if you're changing your ways, if you're changing your brand, there's nothing wrong with that. If anything, I think, with 2024 coming, like I think it's a year of being the most authentic, raw version of yourself. Like the more vulnerable you can be, that's you speaking your truth at the end of the day. I think a lot of us have a tendency to suppress our feelings, our emotions, our thoughts. We're so afraid to talk about them. And don't like, just know, like I'm also going through this journey for myself. I mean, I've been starting this journey since 8 years ago. I think it's been 8 or 9 now. And I'm still learning so much about myself. And there's so much more that I want to learn, like, which is crazy, right? Because I'm with myself all the time, yet there's still so much that I want to open up. So many doors that I haven't really like looked at just yet, that I'm like, I want to know more. I want to know what that is like. Well, learn to get curious for yourself. Like, how can you be more curious in life? I really think that a lot of people, when I observe people that have been in the same job for 20, 30 years and they really haven't done much, it like baffles me, because I'm just like, oh my gosh, there's so much of themselves that they haven't even delved into, and they got just so sucked into the matrix of just working in a job, and then that's it. At the end of the day, if that fulfills you, don't get me wrong, like if that really excites you and fulfills you and satisfies you, then by all means do you. But learn to do you more often. And yeah, that's like honestly like the greatest gift that I've given myself over these 8 years of learning about myself, is that I've always really like did what I wanted to do. And it wasn't always like that. Like there was definitely a point in time where I was afraid to step into my power. I was afraid to step into who I am now. Like this curly hair, this energy, this vibe that like I radiate now, that literally I'm walking in the grocery store or in line somewhere and somebody just approaches me and tells me literally, I love your energy. Like there's something about you. I don't know what it is, but there's something about you. Like, can I stand right here? Can I stand near you? Like I've had people approach me, but it wasn't always that way. And it's because I've actually shed so many layers, right? It's been a journey to be where I am right now. It's been a beautiful journey. Like I'm so grateful that I have given myself that gift of learning to shed those layers that no longer serve me, learning to heal those things from the past as well, those wounds that I've had with my family and with myself and with certain experiences, and learning to let that go and becoming the woman that I'm becoming right now. Like, my birthday is this month. This is my birthday month. And it's always a month of so much reflection and so much gratitude, and it holds a lot of emotion this month for me, because it's a period of me like really letting go of that older version of myself and stepping into this new version of myself that I see. Like I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's crazy, it's crazy. And so, again, like the biggest thing that you can give yourself and is to just be yourself. Learn to be yourself. Like start to observe yourself. Like when you're with somebody, when you're with a group of people, like are you just with them because there's somebody to just be around? Or are you with them because you can actually be your real self? You could be goofy, you could be silly, you can be smart, you can, be whatever you want to be, and you're not judged. I think it's so important to create a circle for yourself where you can surround yourself with people where you can be whatever you want to be, and those people accept you for you, and they're not there trying to mold you into something or make you feel bad for being expressive, in a healthy way, obviously. But yeah, really reflect on that, because I think that's going to be really important for 2024, to surround yourself with the right people that are really going to elevate you, that are really going to empower you, that are really going to love you for you. I think it's so important to have circles like that, because life can be rough. Life can be so rough sometimes. And when you are surrounded by people like that, they can help lift you up in an instant just by simply hanging out with them. And I definitely learned a lot of that this year, is learning to move on from things that just weren't serving me anymore. And it's not always easy. It's not always easy moving away from certain groups of people, because, you're not trying to be mean and you don't want others to feel a certain way or whatever. But at the end of the day, you got to do what's right for you. And that's even with family. If family is being toxic right now, you have to separate yourself and just know that there's nothing wrong. Because I think there's also this misconception that because it's family, I need to tolerate the toxicity. And that's so not true. No, there's no, you're not going to get in trouble. There's no law written down that if you separate yourself for a period of time to find yourself and get away from the constant toxicity, that you're not going to get in trouble. Just know that. Like at the end of the day, it is family. And if they're truly family, they will, like, there will be a point in time will come where you guys will make peace. But it doesn't mean that you have to make that peace right now in this moment if that's not the phase that you guys are in. Sometimes that separation is also necessary for both sides to then come back in a better headspace, in a better energy, in a better vibe. That's definitely happened with me in my own personal life. Like I've had moments where I've had to separate myself from my family and not really be so close, because we were just constantly nagging at each other, and it just was not healthy. It wasn't the support system that I needed at that time. And so I did have to diminish the conversations. And now our relationship is a lot better. I feel more accepted and more seen, and I feel more, and obviously we have our moments, and we know that we've had to set certain boundaries so we're not crossing that line. And I think that's just something really important to put out here, that when you're starting to become yourself, it's going to trigger people around you, regardless, because they're going to start seeing like, oh, maybe they're going to start thinking like, oh, maybe they think that they're better than me, or whatever the case may be. But just know that at the end of the day, being yourself is the most important thing that you can do for yourself. And when you start healing, because you're going to start a journey of healing parts of yourself, and when you start doing that, you're also healing parts of your family line without them even knowing. Like, you don't have to even say anything. It just starts to happen, and you just start noticing that they will start shifting in themselves as well, which is it's a crazy thing that happens just very naturally. And if they don't, then, unfortunately, they're just not meant to be in your life right now. And I've definitely seen stories with other friends that I've had and mentors that I've had where they separated from their mother or their father for years and years and years. And 10 years down the line, little by little, they started rekindling that relationship. So, sometimes separation is very much needed, and just don't feel bad if that's the case for you right now. That's the phase that you're in. It's so important right now to take care of you, to take care of your energy, because you have a purpose. You have you have a purpose. You have a medicine to share, no matter what that looks like. Doesn't mean that you have to be a healer like me. It could be through your art. It could be through your music. It could be through your dancing. It can be through opening up a food truck. It could be whatever it is. You have something in you that wants to come out, and it's not going to come out if you're constantly being surrounded by toxicity all the time, because it's just going to like dim your light, especially if you're around that on a daily basis. That's why I'm saying here, like, as you start stepping into your power and becoming more of yourself and realizing what that means for you, it's also really important to start cultivating groups of people, or not even groups, just a few people in your circle that are going to empower you on this journey, because sometimes the journey can feel very lonely. And then when you start talking about it with those people, you start to realize like you're not alone in this. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I totally got your back, type of deal. And so, yeah, so I guess that is my message for you guys today, when it comes to the realm of possibilities. That this is a way of you opening yourself up, allowing your higher self to really come through and to really guide you on the journey that you're meant to be on. Because sometimes we can get distracted, and I have said this before, that it doesn't mean that there is necessarily a right or wrong path, but at the end of the day, the journey is about coming back to you, becoming one again with yourself, and connecting with the divine, and connecting with your higher self. Is this whole union, right? And so by going on that journey, you're naturally going to find your way. But when you're not being your true authentic self, you kind of deviate from that path. And so, but even if you do deviate yourself, even if you do get distracted, just know that that's also a part of your journey, because then that means that you're supposed to learn something that's going to make you like come back to that path. Eventually, at some point in time, you do, or you have a realization of what your true purpose is and where you need to go. Because sometimes it takes people 50, 60 years because they get sucked into the matrix. But if you're here, you're definitely woke in some way, that you see that there's more to life than just a 9 to 5. There's more to life than pretending to be someone that you're not. And it's so satisfying when you are yourself and people approach you and they're just like, wow, like, you're amazing, and I love your hair, or I love your energy. And you're like, wow, thank you. Like, you're like, I'm just being me. Like, I'm just being me, and people are actually accepting me for that. Like, that's such a freaking awesome like feeling to have, that people love you or are attracted to you just for you being literally yourself. And so I challenge you, for the end of 2023, to start doing things that are a full body yes, that you're just like, this excites me so much. Like, I want to do whatever it is that I want to do. It could be as simple as, I want to go buy myself a new shirt, or I want to go to the park, or I want to buy myself a pupusa. Whatever it is that just like, you're like, you know what, this is what I want to do in this moment. Like, this is my authentic truth in this now moment. This is what I want to do. go do it. And this is the journey of like trusting in your gut, trusting in your intuition, like trusting in the little nudges that life starts to show you. Just start to become more mindful and aware. And that's going to lead you exactly where you need to be. Just like you're here watching this video right now, you're exactly where you need to be in this moment. And yeah, and it's also like the greatest feeling, like, when it came to me becoming more of myself, when I was growing up, like I always wanted to be somebody else. I never wanted to be me. I always like thought that to be loved, I had to be white. I had to be a girl that has straight hair. Curly hair was not in. Curly hair, you were considered ick, type deal. And for a very long time, that's what I always thought. And for a very long time, even looking at myself, I used to always think I was ugly. Like I was like, I just want to be somebody else. I don't want to be me. And because I just never felt like I could be accepted as me. And yeah, it wasn't until I've gotten through some life lessons and stuff like that, and I was in a toxic relationship and that wasn't serving me at all. That was also pushing me to be something that I was not. I just had like a breaking point. And once I finally stood up to myself, I stood up to my parents, I stood up to my ex, letting them know, like, first of all, I'm done with this relationship. This is not serving me. I'm not happy. Like, this is not even worth my time anymore. Once I cut that out, and then I stood up to my parents and I told them, look, this career path of being a speech therapist is not me at all. Like, this is not what I want to do. This is not, I never wanted to do this. I did this for my parents. Like, I did it for them to just please them. I was a huge people pleaser. And if you're a people pleaser, then you're not walking the path of being your authentic self because you're always doing things to please others. Instead of being of service, you're just doing it to please others and you're hurting yourself on this path by doing that. Learn to just be yourself. And it doesn't mean that you have to be friends with everybody either. Like there's gonna be people that are just not gonna like you, and that's okay. Because at least at the end of the day, you're being yourself, you're being your true self, and that's all that matters. And when I did that, like it was the most scariest moment of my life, but it was the most like happiest moment because I finally stood my ground. Now, mind you, just because I did that in the beginning doesn't mean that the journey after that was easy, because it doesn't mean that in that moment all of a sudden I stopped being a people pleaser. No. There was a lot of things that I had to work through, like really, really work through. But I kept standing my ground. I kept standing like, no, but this is what I want to do. No, this is the journey I want to be on. No, this is what I've been saying, and I haven't been heard for so many years, and I'm speaking up now. And that's honestly the moment that my throat chakra was like activated. And I'm so proud of that Angie. I'm so proud of that Angie that did that for me, who I am now. Like because she did that, because that version of myself did that, I am where I am now. I've fully accepted myself. Like I love who I am. I love what I see in the mirror. I love my hair. I love my eyes. I love my beauty marks. I love my smile. I love my nose. I love my small chest. I love my body, my petite body, but also my booty. Like I love myself fully. Like I truly do. And I never used to be able to even say that. I always thought I was the ugly duckling for the longest time. And it's because I was never being my true self. I was always doing everything to please other people. And so that's why the message here is just so heavy right now, that we need to learn to just be ourselves. And if you're a creative, and if you're an entrepreneur or an energy healer, or whatever you're doing on your journey, and if you're sharing content on social media, just be yourself. Just be yourself, and your people will come to you. Your tribe will come to you because they're honestly just waiting for you to be yourself. They're honestly just waiting for you to be yourself so they can receive that medicine, so they can start their healing, so they can start whatever it is that you're going to inspire them to do. Like those people are out there waiting, just waiting for you to just finally step into your power. And it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful to just like break free of those chains of pretending. Because for so long, I was just pretending to really be into a certain type of music, pretending to wear certain outfits, pretending to put on this mask. And I was so sick and tired of it. And here I am taking no shit from anybody, to be honest. Going through my own transitions right now, currently, and still standing my ground and still being like, I have my own back no matter what. And if they can't accept me, so be it. I really don't care. And it's not that I'm like, and it's not that I'm being mean about it. It's just that, like, at the end of the day, I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be what feels right for me. And if there's things that I need to learn, I will learn them. And that's fine. Like my opinions can change later if I want them to, due to the experiences that I have in my life. But again, the message here today for I feel like there's this new wave of awakening happening, that people are just sick and tired of people being like fucking fake. Like, stop being fake. Just be yourself. And even if that means, like, let's say, for example, you decide that you want to get lip injections, or you decide that you want to get breast implants or whatever, just make sure that you make these decisions because you fucking love yourself already. That's just something that you just want to do. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's not about bashing people that they're doing certain things. It's like, at the end of the day, if you're doing something because you actually love yourself fully, and because you are actually doing it from your heart, and you're being your authentic true self, then do it. Other people's opinions doesn't matter. Sorry, these lights were distracting me. Yeah, just do it. That's what I have to say about that. Like, if you want to dress in sexy clothes, but you're doing it because it's your truth, because you're doing it because it's coming out of your heart, like, this is just what feels so good for me right now, then do it. And the thing is, like, energy, like, I mean, at least for me, because I'm, an energy healer, and I'm empathetic, like, I'm an empath. I can feel, like, I can totally tell online when people post certain things or whatever, and they try to be sexual, or they try to do certain things, and I'm just like, man, they're being like, it's cool that they're doing this and they look great with whatever, but it's so not them. Like, they're just so not being themselves right now. And it's so sad, because it's just like, if only they knew that if they're just themselves, they don't have to feel so exhausted pretending to be something that they're not. And so I feel like there's this new wave of just authenticity and honesty and just being your full self. And I'm excited. I'm excited for this new wave that's coming out right now, because I really feel like that's what people want. Like, I think our souls and just like are just craving that truly right now. It's just authenticity. And just know that, like, with that, so many magical things are going to happen. So many things that are actually aligned with you and your desires are going to happen by you just being simply yourself. So again, that is my message here today. And again, with 12/12 coming, I highly suggest that you sit down with yourself and ask yourself, like, with this new wave coming through, this new energetic upgrade that is happening for everybody. Everybody has this opportunity. No one's left out in this, but it's up to you to decide if you're going to hop on and ride this wave of possibilities. You open yourself up to so many more possibilities when you are just being yourself. Understand that that is enough, because it is your birthright. It is your birthright to have abundance in your life. It's your birthright to have joy in your life. It's your birthright to be happy. All of that by simply not doing more. It's just by simply being you. being your authentic self. Like, I think we fall into this like rabbit hole sometimes, like that we need to be somebody else, that we need to copy somebody else in order to gain all these things, when it's like, no, just be yourself. Just be yourself. You are enough as you are. You are worthy as you are to have it all, to be a magnet for your desires. But you only push that away when you're constantly putting on all these fake masks. Just be yourself, and it's more than enough. More than enough. And thank you for being here. I definitely would love to know like your guys' thoughts on this. If this is something that you've struggled with on your journey of like being yourself. And if you have struggled, like why? Why has it been a struggle for you to be that way? To be just you? Is it because of your work environment? Is it because of your circle of friends? Like, what is blocking you from being your full self? Is there a part of you that you're afraid of embracing? I would love to know in the comments below. And yeah. And what was I going to say? I was going to say something else. Oh, and go ahead and subscribe and like, because that obviously helps. And I can't wait to share the next video. We'll see when that comes out. Maybe sometime this week, maybe after the new moon, I'll post something here. But if you would like to learn something more about tapping into the realm of possibilities, like definitely comment below as well and let me know, because your opinions matter to me. Because it just helps me see what you guys want to learn more about. So have a beautiful, beautiful Sunday, and I'll see you on the next one.